In this dark world, the wise are not the most successful ones. The wise are not the most successful ones. They are not champion on this earth. It was those that are in grace. In grace. Because one of the things that grace does for you, that things you cannot see, grace will go ahead. When God said to Moses, you have found grace, Moses was asking, he said, my presence will go ahead of you. He said, my goodness will pass before you. These are dimensions that grace works for. We talk about our brother Joseph, how he was thrown. His brother wanted to kill him, but there is a grace over his life. So they decide not to kill him. They threw him in the pit. They decide to bring him out to make a money with his life. And they thought, you know, anyone that becomes a slave, you can never become anything in life. That is what you will be until you die. Unless the person that you are under decide to let you free. And it was sold. Look at the journey of Joseph, starting from his brother to pit, to slavery, to Potiphar's house, to prison. All this journey is not everyone that will go through that journey and still survive in life, become one of the voice in the land of Egypt. It's by the grace of God. It takes grace to survive. It takes grace to be champion in this world, in this darkened world. It takes grace. But because of time, let me say this. Oh my God. I want to tell you how to grow in grace. How to grow in grace. That is what church needed so much. What God needs, men that know how they will grow their grace. How they will grow in grace. How they will grow in grace. It is very, very important. Remember, as I told you in the beginning, that grace is a privilege to access the fullness of God. And another man of God said that grace is an ability to live above death and corruption. Many people have misquoted grace. When you see somebody that are becoming better in his spiritual life, every day he's improving in his life. Grace does not make a man weak. Grace makes you strong. Is somebody hearing me?
Yes, sir.
So grace is not a privilege to live in immorality. It's a privilege to bring us out from what? Immorality. When you see yourself begin to have the stamina and the strength to live a righteousness, there is a grace working over you. We need to understand it. That is what Jude said in Jude chapter 1 verse 4. I said this because some ungodly people have swarmed their way into your churches. This is what is happening. Saying that grace, that God marvelous grace allow us to live what? In immoral what? Immoral lives. That is when ungodly people that stand in the altar invited into church and now begin to tell people that the grace is a way to live in immoral life. So no matter what you are living, be comfortable there. Grace has covered you. That is what it is. Not today that it happened. It has been long. So Jude was telling the church, look at this man has warmed themselves inside. They have come as a worm to make sure that whatever they comes from their altar weakens your faith. So go to internet today. That is why I say to you, if internet pastored you, your fire will become cold as anything. Because anything that comes out of many, they are voiding out their corruption from their heart. So they preach because they preach out of their ungodliness. They preach out of their weaknesses. They preach out of their limitation. The condemnation of such people was recorded long ago. For they have denied our only Master and Lord Jesus Christ. They do not deny it by saying it. They deny it by what they preach. Because anything does not make you better is not grace. Is somebody hearing me? Anything does not give you strength is not grace. Anything does not increase stamina is not grace. Grace make us better. Grace make us better.